guys, welcome to Cooks Books and welcome to 2018. Today I want to talk about some of my 2018 reading goals. Everyone says this every year, but 2018 for me is going to be the year of reading more chunkers. I define a chunker as a book that's kind of more than 300 or 400 pages, and my TBR is just full of all the books that I've been too intimidated to pick up over the years. And I've got some amazing chunky books on my TBR. I've got all of the Russian classics, so Crime and Punishment, Anna Karenina, War and Peace, all these amazing Russian classics that I've always been too afraid to pick up. I've got some quite recent fantasy as well. I've got the Six of Crows duology to finish. I have got all of the Game of Thrones practically to read. And they're taking up dead space, because if I'm looking at a book and I haven't read it, and I don't have any emotional tie to it, it's just dead space. So to kind of take the pressure off myself and allow myself to read that big a book as often as I'd like to, I have lowered my Goodreads goal to 25 books. I know I will read more than 25 books because I normally read 55-ish books a year, and even that isn't good enough to me, so I am fighting some really deeply ingrained stuff here to lower it to that small of a target. But I needed to do something drastic, so I didn't feel the frenzy to just read lots of short books, and this seemed like the easiest option. Readathons, I would love to do more of them and get more engaged. At the end of 2017 I did the Holiday Adventure-a-thon, which was amazing, and I actually joined in on the sprints, and I tweeted and I used the hashtags, and I just really got competitive about it, and it was so fun. And I think I read a good 3 or 4 books in the space of like 5 days. So it's kind of really inspired me to get more on board. I have the Readathon news Twitter on Tweet Alert, and I am here for it. I have a calendar that is just for readathons. I am prepared. New year, new me. Who is this Lauren? With the dark hair. With the grown-up dress on. Yes. This is a dress. Similarly, I would like to set myself more challenges, and I've got a good few already, but I think I'm going to pick and choose as the year goes on, because I don't want to be one of those people who has to like set January to December as goals, because that's starting to feel really arbitrary to have those two signposts for no reason other than Happy New Year. So if these aren't working for me, I'll just throw them out, and if new ones come along that I think are really interesting, I'm not going to make myself wait until next January like I have done with some of these. For example, the Read Harder challenge or the Diversity Bingo challenge I only discovered halfway through 2017. I've had to wait 6 months to let myself join in, because I was like, hey, there's no way I'll get even a chunk of the way through them. It's so late, it's too late. And also something about like people judging me jumping on challenges, like who would do that? Nobody would do that. For quite a while now, Jean of Bookish Thoughts had a Read 100 Women challenge, and I decided to try and make one of my own, and it actually highlights something really interesting. I couldn't think up 100 female writers at all. Even with the help of Google and Wikipedia, I couldn't find 100 women that I thought I'd be actively interested in reading their stuff. So this is like a huge flash of inspiration for me to realise how little I actually know. So I am working on building up that list and then reading through that list as one of my major goals for 2018. Hopefully by the end of 2018 I can at least have the 100 women listed, even if I know I'll be nowhere near through reading the list. Last year I set myself the all too ambitious goal of reading every Kurt Vonnegut novel he ever wrote in chronological order, and I think I got like 4.5 books through the 14. Which wasn't great. So this year I decided to have another go, but with a different author with a far smaller bibliography. I would love to work my way through these Virginia Woolf vintage classic editions in chronological order of them being published if I can. So I will read A Room of One's Own, Mrs. Dalloway, The Waves, Orlando to the Lighthouse, and The Years over the course of this year. I feel like it's time to get some seminal feminist knowledge going on, and just, if there is one of 100 women I want to read this year, it's going to be Virginia Woolf. And I'd quite like to read more about Virginia Woolf as a person as well, because she had such an interesting life. The next challenge I have is to read my TBR And I don't necessarily have a problem with book buying, because when I buy a book, I tend to just read it straight away. So my TBR never gets any bigger, but it never really gets any smaller either. So this year I'm going to really concentrate on reading the books I own, and not ever going on a book buying ban, but just really carefully considering if I want to add those books to my TBR and what the effect of that would be in the long run. And as part of this reading my own TBR, I have a lot of series I picked up maybe when I was 14 or 15 that I still just haven't read, because I knew I liked to read at that point, but I was like, I was so busy. Like, I had after school clubs to go to, and I had homework to do, and on Saturdays I had to go to Costa and sit with my friends all day, and I was so busy. I didn't have time to read. So I really want to get some of these chunky series off my shelf. Not my physical shelf, because I don't want to get rid of series. You know what I mean? I want it off my TBR, on my red mental compartmentalised shelves. I have so many series just waiting to be read. I've got all the Game of Thrones books. I've got Mary Blackman's Noughts and Crosses. I've got the Maze Runner series. I've just got a lot of books on my TBR. And I might make a whole video about that, because I'm realising it's a juicy old topic. And finally, as I say every year, I want to get more engaged in the community. I want to be supporting other teeny tiny booktubers like me, because YouTube's made that a thing. But the amount of videos I watch that I love, and I don't even bother to hit the like button when really I should be liking it, I should be commenting, I could be sharing videos, like through Tumblr, because, you know, my blog is still a thing. It's just been revamped. If you wanna check it out, and I need to actually start using it. Through Twitter, like, I love some of the videos I watch, and I just do nothing about it. And then I'm like, hey, why don't I get more than 2 comments on a video I post? It's like, bitch, you can't expect without giving. So those are my 2018 kind of goals, most of which I know I will never ever fulfill, but I think it's going to be fun trying, and fun for me to engage with my reading in ways that is not just 5-minute snatches of reading on the bus, or like the one time I saw my friend do it and I'm like, oh my god, guess what I read? I want to be so actively involved in my reading and my reading culture and my reading journey that it just all falls into place. Happy New Year! I'll see you soon.